Today, I am taking on Commands and Colors Ancients, the campaign that is provided in the digital edition, here today on Legendary Tactics. And the campaign game starts with the Battle of Bagradas, which I'm going to go up against the hard AI. We need 5 victory points to win. And so this scenario is a fairly straightforward one. I'm still learning the nuances of this game. I'd love to hear in the comments down below if you have any suggestions as far as tactics go. But my general idea is to split the line. Make sure that if you look at the enemy, the yellow side there, they have some light infantry in the middle. And my job, what I was figuring, my job is to kind of punch through there, roll up that, stay away from the archers and the infantry on the other side there, and in general, and the heavy cavalry as well, and just in general try to split the line, drive up the middle, and then essentially crush the right-hand side of the line up against the edge of the board, and hopefully get enough victory points that way. My left flank is basically, the job there is to more or less hold the line, take pot shots where it makes sense, and just try and kind of protect that flank while the rest of my force goes after everything that's to the right of the center line there. So the first move there, I moved some guys around, but at the moment it's just positioning. And my AI opponent, that, in all honesty, I mean, I don't have a ton of experience with this against this AI. I was not totally blown away, but as always, my view on these AIs is that they are essentially training tools. You can use them to learn the game, to get your play up to at least a level where you can provide a reasonably strong opponent versus a human player, and of course you can take your learning from there. I know there's a lot of strategy online. I've come across a lot of articles and so forth. There's a lot more depth to this game than it first appears. It does seem very simple to the uninitiated viewpoint, and that is one of the hallmarks, I think, of a great game. If it looks simple but is actually one of those games that takes a lifetime to master, it's always much more fulfilling if that's the case. And so anyway, I moved up the light infantry just basically as a screen for the archers, but the archers had to be in range, so I moved them up just to see if I could get a better shot. And I'm going after the lighter infantry, figuring that my shots against the cavalry will be much reduced. And I made them scurry away, which is great. It kind of feeds into my plan of kind of just holding those units back. And we get hit with a double time card here. And so the Carthaginians now play leadership in any section. And they're going to go for the center. Again, that is fine. It kind of plays into what I'm looking for, although I realized my archers were a little bit exposed there. I think it's generally best you want to have some other units to distract from the archers. And I was fortunate in that I didn't take any damage from those javelins or spears or whatever that were thrown at me. But I need to rectify that situation. I need to get my archers out of the way. So I'm looking at my cards. Heavy troops, kind of the one that jumps out at me. Outflanked looks good too, but just not right away. I don't need to rally yet, So, but that's good to have. And mounted charge is okay, I guess. Both my my cavalry units are a little bit off to the side at the moment, and double time is also looks very good. But I've got to make sure I've got my positioning right, because I want to get the maximum mileage out of that card. So I'm going to go with the order heavy troops, and that's going to allow me to move my heavy infantry up. Hopefully distract a bit, from those exposed archers, give them some protection, and again, just hoping that the heavy infantry will be more of a target. And just marching up there, just again to create that screen. We're going to be turning those center forces towards the right flank, and start pursuing the infantry as soon as the light infantry there, as soon as we can. But we're going to push forward in the center first. Now he plays coordinated attack, and so that is an interesting kind of move. Nothing too dramatic, although the heavy cavalry do approach. And again, I see my archers are exposed. Luckily, the light infantry pose as a target, and they get to run away, which is great. Happy to escape. I think I got a bit lucky with the rolls early on in this game, because things like that, I could very well have lost that unit or had it very heavily damaged, and it would have been a very bad scene. My opponent advances, and that gives me the opportunity to retreat my light bow infantry there, but once again managed to get away scot-free, and I scurry away behind my heavy infantry now, which is great. I can maybe move up my heavy infantry, my cavalry, maybe even surround that heavy cavalry. That would be great. Unfortunately, my heavy infantry do take a hit, and it weakens them a little bit there. And then looking at my hand, I really didn't see a heck of a lot of amazing options in terms of what I was looking to do. And maybe that's my fault in that I came into this scenario with a plan. Maybe you just need to react to the situation a little bit more, be more flexible. So I'm going to order 3 units on the left flank. We're going to see if we can counterattack this heavy cavalry here, and see if we can surround the cavalry a little bit and put the pressure on. And certainly with the archers, if we can get some damage, some free damage with them, then we are going to absolutely do that. So we've got some good spots here. We're gonna see if we can't strike first with the heavy infantry, and we unfortunately don't do much of anything with that. And the heavy cavalry scurries away, basically meaning that my attacks are useless. I probably should have attacked with the archers first and gotten that out of the way. But anyway, 4 units center. There are only that's I guess the card I picked up, and that will be handy for what I'm about to do. Leadership any section. And so there's a bit of an advance there, and I'm fine with this. Kind of plays into kind of the goal that I have. I want to advance my forces on the right, though, if I can. The cavalry kind of pokes their head up a little ways there, and luckily they miss, but there was a bit of ranged attack coming from them that I wasn't expecting initially, and managed to dodge a bullet there. So as I said, I think I got a lot of decent die rolls early on here, because I did not really have to deal with too many casualties. Now I did lose some units there, and I get my kind of counterattack, and I managed to get a couple of hits, which is great. Gonna really hamper that light infantry then becomes my first target for a victory point. This is exactly what I was hoping for, is essentially staying, as I said, staying away from the units on my left flank and just hammering the light infantry and trying to get as many easy and preferably quick kills as possible. So we're going to see what we can do here in advancing, and it drives me nuts having that reduced strength, those reduced strength heavy infantry there. But we're going to see what we can do in getting our attack up and running. Now, unfortunately, the archers were blocked that's who I wanted to lead with. But we managed to get that light auxilia infantry dead, and that gives us our first victory point. And as long as we can keep pressing here, I think we can. We're kind of looking to make our big dent right now, and just not have to even face a large part of the enemy force. Now that unit does run away to a little bit towards my left, which I'm not pleased about. But I do a bit of damage on the auxilia infantry, and unfortunately have to suffer a counterattack, which weakens my heavy infantry once again, I believe. And unfortunately, my archers were not able to fire. I guess they were blocked. And so I pick up now. There's my 3 units on the right card. That's what I needed. So, but my units are weak, and it's unfortunate. I've taken some damage on those heavy infantry in the center. And it looks like my opponent's going to maybe take advantage of that with some movement, likely some attacks. And we'll see what they have in store. And yeah, it looks like they are attacking in the center, trying to damage my my heavy infantry. And unfortunately, they do. They get another hit. I strike back as best I can. I managed to get a couple of hits, and that is great. So that leaves that unit once again really weak. And we're closing in on our second victory point here pretty shortly, if we can just strike that unit quickly. Now, unfortunately, we lose our heavy infantry there before I could rally, and that is not cool. We lose a victory point there, or essentially the score's even now 1-1. So, and once again, I was kind of hamstrung. I did not have the movement that I really needed. I order 3 units right was okay, and potentially unit outflanked as well, but it really wasn't something that I felt I needed to. So anyway, I tried to rally back a block there, and I managed to reclaim. I should have. It was a bit of a waste of a card. I think I shouldn't have done that, but my goal was also to get in an attack and crush that auxilia infantry, and that's 2-1. And now you can see the lines divided, and that's more or less what I wanted to do. And now with moving 3 units on the right, I'm hoping to begin to corner my opponent. I just need those 3 units on my right there, and that's the game. So if I can just avoid the other units, then I'm in good shape. On the left, I feel I've maybe separated my forces a little bit too much, and I probably want to consolidate those and maybe even retreat a little bit. Fortunately, my opponent plays 4 units left, which kind of plays into my hands as far as looking to surround these units. But hey, that's fine. But man, took a couple of hits there. Suddenly, that auxilia infantry looks pretty weak. I do get a hit though, and forced the retreat. And that was actually pretty incredible because that was a strong cavalry unit and now forced to flee. And fortunately for that unit, it was able to flee a long ways away. So my light infantry there did their job. The cavalry there, I think they must be cavalry archers or whatever. They ended up doing some damage, and then this also did some damage. This attack here, and I rolled but was not able to do much. Now I wasn't able to retreat that one unit, unfortunately, so we ended up having to take another loss there. So I'm not really proud of where I'm at right now, but the plan is more or less in play. So now I'm thinking, well, do I do double time? That's maybe something to look at. I've certainly can use all those units on the right, but I do also have order 3 units right, which is not a bad card either. Double time, it can be quite useful if you've got a fully linked line. Mounted charge, I just didn't feel suited this scenario. It's probably a great card, but Clash of Shields is great if you're adjacent. I didn't feel like I had enough units adjacent to make that worthwhile, so I'm going to do order 3 units right and hang on to my double time, and we're going to again work to shield that one unit that's really weak there. Perhaps maybe I should have moved that unit around, but I'm just trying to, again, just surround that light, that auxilia infantry leader. Again, just my whole view here is divide and conquer. And so if I can, crush this unit, then great. I did some damage on it. And here's the counterattack. Now, luckily that was a miss. And and there was one hit. And sorry, I did take one loss there. Now, I kept my options open with my cavalry leader there, because I could have swung at either of them. I decided to aim for the cavalry, and I did that. I did get one hit, so weaken them and chase them away. Now, again, we've got the whole force there centered primarily on that auxilia infantry leader, which is a prime target, and lots of options as far as movement and attack and all that great stuff. So now this part was a bit worrying because obviously the on my left, I just wanted things to stay nice and peaceful, but things were moving, and that's okay. We've got some strength on the left still. We don't have as many vulnerable units. And really, there wasn't a lot of exciting movement other than the heavy cavalry moving up and the archers moving within range. There wasn't really a ton of stuff, but that's fine. So we're going to battle this out with the light cavalry against, heavy chariots. Or I've been calling them cavalry, but they're chariots. But I'm happy to run. I'll escape, and that was kind of the basic look that I was going for. I probably want to retreat my heavy infantry to just shield my my archers there a bit. But other than that, I'm reasonably okay with the setup. Now that I've connected my lines, I've got the opportunity to use double time, and in a big way as well. So we'll see what we can do here. We need a string of 4 units, and there's plenty of options. Actually, we've got a whole string of units here together, so we can go with those, and just keep the we decided to go with that, which is fine. We're going to surround this unit here, and go after that I call them javelin throwers. I don't know if the spear guys, spear troops, and see if we can get them dead. So anyway, we got that leader not quite dead, but all the troops are dead, and the leader retreats to join the chariot unit there. And we're going to attack the light infantry. I guess they're just light infantry. They're carrying spears, but whatever. So anyway, missed them completely. That was a bit frustrating, as they basically ran behind the coattails of their stronger force on my left flank. But I've still got enough units cornered on the right here to make a difference. As long as I can advance and circle, we're going to be able to push them up against the edge of the board somewhere and then go after them. So, and really, unless the attack is pressed very strongly and quickly on my left flank, there's really not enough time to probably get at all of them. Now, my heavy infantry did take another couple of hits here. We'll see about the counterattack, and we did pretty well. 3 hits. That is enough to get a 4th victory point, wiping out the chariots. It did come at a bit of a cost, but I'll take it. So now we're only 1 victory point away from essentially dominating the scenario. And there's some prime targets on my right flank for that. So even though we have suffered some losses, some weakened units, I'm hoping to get some sort of thing together. Now, unfortunately, I kind of ran out of steam on the cards here. Double time might have worked here, but I was also kind of thinking outflanked might also be a good choice. So whether to save the double time or not, just in case at a later point, might come in handy. I was a bit torn. The order 2 units left, not really what I'm aiming at. The mounted charge, again, not that useful. Clash of Shields is not useful at all. So I had a lot of kind of dead-ish cards in hand. So I thought, okay, well, let's do the double time again. We've got this nice string of actually 5 units here. And so just a matter of picking the right ones. And so we're got everything together. We're going to advance around the light infantry is going to circle around my cavalry leader there. Heavy infantry is going to get into place. I like putting them where there's a couple of potential targets. So if one attack doesn't do well, then or if it does well, there's an opportunity to capitalize. The heavy infantry are going to be able to do that. So here I'm looking for the killer blow that's going to end this. So I'm going to go first after these cavalry and totally miss against the light cavalry, unfortunately, and they run away. And so I have to go at these at this other cavalry unit with the leader, or chariot unit, sorry, and the light infantry drive them away, no hits. So forcing them back, as I said, as long as I can get the cards. And I've got this move, fire, move card, which is great for light infantry. But again, I'm looking for kind of a move 3 or move 3 right or something like that. But I'm going to have to face some attacks in the center. I've got my heavy infantry there to hopefully, hold the line, and got a little bit out of position there. I'd like to reposition that unit if I could. Fortunately for me, it's a retreat, so I'm going to retreat away from contact with that auxiliary infantry. They still get a pot shot and force me to retreat again, which is fine. It actually kind of gives me a chance to pull back, and because I felt maybe my neck was a bit stuck out there, and I needed to rein it in a bit. My archers feel a bit exposed, but that might be okay. Again, I'm just looking for one more unit at this point. It's a fairly dominant situation so far. The only one that really was at all compelling to me at this point was outflanked, because that allowed me to at least rearrange some units on my left, but still allowed me to move units on my right. And I'm hoping that I get some cards that allow more of a follow-up, more attacks on the right, because that would be great if they could come along. Otherwise, I'm kind of just looking to rearrange things a bit. There's still plenty of distance actually between the large enemy force on my left and my units. So I was thinking maybe I should have pulled back that heavy infantry just to consolidate things a bit. Maybe straddle the line between the left and the center, and be able to use cards from either side, which is kind of always a good thing. So, but instead we're gonna kind of just again form up a line and just see if we can maybe get some pot shots with archers and our cavalry. See if we can manage to just get a lucky kill and do some damage. I was torn in this one between the light infantry and the auxilia. I ended up going with the auxilia because the range was closer. It didn't matter so much, and I missed anyway. But yeah, it would have been good to get some damage there. Maybe I should have gone after the light infantry, but I just figured I'm gonna get these light cavalry or whatever. I'm gonna get one of these guys soon. As they run away again into the corner. So now they can't retreat anymore. We're in good shape that way. I just need, I've got leadership any section. So that should be good enough for the game, depending on my rolling. At least we're going to get a chance to attack here. So now I have to suffer 2 units in the center being moved. So there are my archers being targeted. And to be honest, that's fair game. They were exposed. First attack is a miss, which I'm grateful for. I'm going to pick my retreat spot. And I do take a loss, but didn't lose the unit. And the remainder retreats back and safely out of danger. And so now I'm looking again at finishing the game off. I could, of course, aim potentially for the... I could move 3 units center. That's something that could work. Maybe get some archery fire in there, see if I can get a cheap kill. I also have leadership any section. And so those, I've got some linked units as well on the right up front, but with 2 leaders there, they can't boss each other around, so I don't know. So we're gonna do 3 units center and see what we can get, maybe with there's only 3 units in the center, but we'll see what we can get with some archery fire and maybe some close combat as well. See if we can take out that auxilia. It's a bit it's at full strength. But we'll see what we can do, and we'll move the archers around to maybe a better position, perhaps. But also shielded a little bit from attack by those heavy infantry. It's not that the enemy can't go around, but just hoping that it's a bit of a distraction. So we roll and we miss, and that's unfortunate. The other archer can't attack, so we've got this attack as our main course, and 2 damage, but 2 flags. So that unit is going to scamper safely out of range, and again fleeing to the stronger force. So we're not really able to do much there. Order mounted, not very effective, I think. Again, it's okay. I guess we can maybe move the cavalry leader on the right and maybe get lucky, or maybe we can even I haven't checked the range on the light cavalry on the left. Maybe that could be something where we could snipe that weakened auxilia. We luckily don't take any more hits there, and we do have to take a couple of a bit of an attack from the cavalry again on the right, but nothing comes of it, which is great. And now we're just at the point of looking to end this. We just are looking for the right to figure out the right card here, and I was contemplating move, fire, move here. Leadership, any section also appealed, so we're going to go with that one. And we're going to choose the basically so I guess the leaders can boss themselves around, and we're going to choose that one. We're going to advance and try and we're going to pick the hex that basically allows us the most flexibility, and allows us to attack both enemy. Depending on the order of attacks, we can maybe make a wise choice there. So we're going to move everybody into position, and that unit is unfortunately not able to attack this turn. Just a little bit out of range, so we're just going to form a line and again just hem these units in. We're going to go after the light cavalry first, and we end up with 3 hits. So that is the end of that unit and the end of the game. So again, not a huge challenge. I'm hoping the other scenarios will be more challenging. But as I said, it's always great for me to learn, and hopefully you're learning as well. If you do have any thoughts on strategy, please leave them in the comments. I'll just take a quick look at the kind of the stats, and we'll just take a very quick look at those just so you can see the rolls there. It's kind of nice how it gives that breakdown and how many hits and all that good stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Please join us next time on Legendary Tactics.